Hey friend, welcome to Self Transformed, a podcast redefining self-care through simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, certified personal trainer, Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a busy working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained until I took action on my own transformation journey. I finally found the solutions to feeling confident and living a healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard, and now I'm on a mission to equip you with sustainable tools to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health and fitness into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but daily actions that light you up instead. So if you're ready to redefine self-care and step into your own self-transformation, then let's do this. Hey gang, I am so excited for you to listen to this bonus episode today with my friend and STU Live alumni, Felice. So Felice was one of the very first ladies to go through the first round of Self Transform You Live, and she's actually a mastermind client now as well. I have some opportunities for clients that go through STU to be able to work with me one-on-one from there for further accountability and lifestyle shifts and changes. And she and I had this wonderful conversation that I wanted to share with you about her experience going through Self Transform You Live and the major lifestyle shifts she has had in her life and how she's lost weight, she's lost the guilt around food or taking time for herself for that matter. And it's been not hard, right? It just feels like unconscious behaviors for her now. She's had that big breakthrough that I want you to be able to have through Self-Transform You Live as well. Just a reminder, we start this upcoming Tuesday, September 7th. You can go to selftransformyou.com/live to sign up, reserve your spot. I only have a few spots left. There's payment plans available. I also made this very affordable to be able to help you have that transformation and also invest in yourself. There's something magical that happens when you invest in yourself. And trust me, I believe that wholeheartedly just from my own past year and investing in myself and coaching services to be able to gain clarity and bring you the best services possible to be able to serve as many women as possible. So if you have ever found yourself saying, I wish I could just finally stick with something, could finally just stick with movement. I could finally just, eat to fuel my body and still have margaritas with my friends. Hello. And if you've ever found yourself saying, I wish I could lose the guilt. I wish I could just talk nicer to myself. Friends, STU Live is it. This is not just your normal wellness program. It is backed by proven habit strategies and habit hacks to make this work in your life, because I know you are a busy working mom. You got all the hats on, you're spinning all the plates. I'm using all the metaphors, and I want this to stick for you. It's not just after 6 weeks you're done. It's after 6 weeks you have a lot of tools in your arsenal, and you are going to take that and freaking rock and feel lit up from the inside out like Felice is. So sit back and relax. Enjoy this conversation with my client and friend, Felice. And remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I want you to have that transformation too. So you can go to selftransformyou.com/live, and I'll see you in STU Live next week. All right, gang. Thanks so much again for tuning into Self Transformed. I am so excited to have my friend and client, STU Live alumni, Felice. Felice, thanks so much for coming on the show and chatting with us.
Thank you. I'm very privileged to do so. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, Felice is one of my mastermind clients, and I've had the privilege of really getting to know her past STU Live because we offer that opportunity for clients once they're done to continue on with some further accountability coaching. And I've just been so excited for your transformation and just the big lifestyle shifts you made in your life. So I thought you would be the perfect person to share with the audience listening today who's maybe on the fence about joining the next round of Self Transform You Live. So let's just kind of get into today's conversation. I want to know why you decided to join STU Live earlier this spring, back in May, right?
Yeah. So one of the reasons I've been listening to your podcast for a long time, so it wasn't like something that I had stumbled across. I've actually followed your podcast and met you through a leadership presentation at Covance, and so I knew a lot about you. And so to me it made sense to try something slightly different because I have reached a plateau. And I'm definitely, very focused on my well-being. I have a big family and I stay really busy. And to kind of push through my plateau and I wanted to make some more changes in my life. It seemed like the best way to do so.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So when you decided to sign up for STU, what was your life like in regards to wellness before, and what is it like now?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think before it was, I would say like throwing spaghetti on the wall. Sometimes it stuck and sometimes it didn't. And it was things that I would like. And I found some things that I liked to do when it came to classes, exercise, better food habits and stuff. But I still felt like I was not reaching my goals. And I was really inconsistent, and I had a lot of self-guilt for everything. Like if I exercised too much, if I didn't exercise enough, if I ate bad, if I did this, if I did that. I just felt like all the right pieces were just scattered like a puzzle, but I couldn't really put them all together yet.
Yeah. So how did you put all those puzzle pieces together then?
Very slowly. So I
right?
think it's like that, that mantra, the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of habits was not something new to me, but the concept of kind of baby stepping it, not trying to do too much at a time, but slowly build little pieces, little habits, little activities and tasks. And for a busy and inconsistent lifestyle and job, because I'm in sales, I needed something that would be able to fall into place with my life. So by starting with, the 5 daily habits, those were things that no matter what my schedule looked like, I could get all 5 in on any given day. And I think that felt very successful to me and manageable. Mm-hmm. And so now to me, if I don't do my 5 little habits, I call my Fab 5, like I know by the end of the day, I could do that at 9 o'clock at night or, first thing in the morning, with the exception of drinking water. You can't drink a gallon at 9 o'clock at night. But, the point being that I could make it work, and now I miss them. And so now it's very natural for me to lay my clothes out for whatever exercise I want to do the next day, or to wake up and grab my prayer journal and do my devotion over coffee, because I know I'm going to have coffee every day. So my book's right there. So now I have my devotion and my coffee, and it really only takes a couple minutes. But I think what I see now is definitely a lot less self-inflicted guilt for wanting to take care of myself. Also a lot of forgiveness and grace. So if I have a, giant margarita with my friends, like that's actually part of taking care of myself. That's my friend time. That's my mommy fun time. So it's definitely allowed me to put some pieces in place where it's not so, what do you call it? All or nothing. Yeah. So if I can get a 10-minute walk in versus my, 3.5 mile walk, like it's just not so overwhelming, and it feels very manageable to my life. And by not making it overwhelming in my own brain, I've been able to be so much more consistent. So, of course I wanted to lose more weight and feel better, but what I've noticed is not only have I lost weight, it's felt almost a little bit less effort. And I know people around me have seen a difference.
Yeah, I love everything that you said there, Felice. And yeah, that's kind of the way I've structured the whole program. And you can probably speak to this. We covered like one subject matter every week. We were talking
Yeah.
about mindset. We talked about food. We talked about movement. When we were moving during those times as well, and doing the workouts and doing the workouts in the group as well. But I designed it that way because I could have given everybody everything they needed in 1 week and been like, here's all that you got to do. Good luck. And it's just like you said,
Yeah.
it's too overwhelming. When you're trying to do too many new habits at once, you're not going to succeed. And that's kind of why we set together the Daily Five or the Fab Five. I love how you call it the Fab Five. That's what I'm calling it from now on too. But yeah, those Daily Five habits, you're exactly right. I designed it so it's just these small little wins that help you feel successful, and it gets that momentum going. So then like you start building that consistency, you start feeling really good. And like you said, that guilt starts to fade naturally as well as you're having those little wins. I love that so much. I love that for you. What do you feel like your biggest like light bulb moment was for you when you were going through Self Transform You?
That it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
I think sometimes when we think about a new habit or new course, I think in our mind we make it so much bigger than what it was. And for me, the biggest light bulb, like you said, was just 1 week at a time, and really focusing on one thought process and 1 week at a time, and how naturally it built into the next week. And the fact that it was so, I mean, you make this very easy for someone with a family or a job, or if you're taking care of older people or whatever, like the way you can incorporate it in your life. I loved how easy it was. I loved the fact that, the Facebook group is fantastic. And the workouts are so easy. Like, again, it kind of, the light bulb moment was in my brain, I have made taking care of myself or getting back on my wellness journey so much harder than it really was.
yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we, like you said, we make it so much bigger in our head, or we have that all or nothing mentality. And, it's just those small little baby steps that's where it just has that compound effect and leads to like massive transformation for sure. Now, I know the answer to this, but the audience doesn't. So have you been able to maintain this new lifestyle switch, these new habits you've set in your life?
So yes and no. So, I mean, that's always a loaded question. And I know you and I talked about this before. So yes, to me, like I said, if I don't do my daily devotion, I miss it. And I can tell immediately if I haven't had enough water. I miss my walks if I don't go on my walk or do my workout or what have you. So for me, yeah, they really have become second nature. And again, I started with the Self Transform You and then moved into Mastermind. But it really has been really sustainable for me. And I say the no part because, like, I travel for work, and, full confessional, like, I was sitting at a meeting and they brought the box lunches, and next thing you know, I'm powering through the chips that were in the box lunch. And then like an hour later, I'm eating the giant chocolate chip cookie that was in the box lunch. So, in the past, I would have been like, darn it, Felice, how dare you?
Yeah.
Just like, but I also gave myself grace, like, okay, I'm traveling for work. My mind is, it's 1 million degrees down in Texas. My mind is so full. I'm learning so much. And so I was able to be like, okay, so that was my business day. That was my work day. That was my travel day. That did not derail me from what my ultimate goal is in life. And so I think, again, that's part of the light bulb, but it's also part of that kind of true confession. Like I said, do I still go out and have a giant margarita? Yes. Does that mean I'm not on my wellness journey? No, not at all. And so, and I've had a couple of days where my body was just like, you need sleep, woman. I've got like I said, I have a big family. I had, 2 out of 5 move out, and get ready for college. The third one's leaving today. So, there's days where I'm just tired and I don't feel like doing anything, but I give myself the grace to do that because I know I will wake up and go on my walk and drink my water one day, and 1 or 2 days slipped. is not the end of my journey. So I get right back on the horse. And that is something that in the past I was not very good at.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, in the past, we're not quick to give ourselves grace. And like you said, you would let something like, oh, I ate a big cookie at a work meeting, just totally derail you. You throw your hands up in the air, and then it turns into like cookies every day, right? Like face first into ice cream. I mean, I'm just speaking from personal experience here too, but that's okay, right? Like we learn, that food freedom method, that not food is good or bad. And sometimes, having a margarita and that experience with your friends is more important than restricting it, unless for some reason you just didn't want it that day and you don't have it, and that's fine.
Right.
So Felice, what would you tell someone who's listening today? Because this is something I hear a lot from our community. Okay, I want to do this, but I don't want to invest in something I probably just won't finish again. I've bought so many different workout programs or diet plans or done this, and I'm just afraid to throw money at something else I'm not going to finish. What would you say to someone who's saying that right now, who's maybe on the fence?
I think that you can't like, how do I say it? You can't not finish in a way, because it's so it's such a natural. It's not like you're taking algebra and you didn't pass chapter 5, so you can't go on to chapter 6. Let's say week 3 was hard. Your daily habits. You and I talked about this, and I'll use my personal experience. Like, scheduling the workouts for me was a hard week, because my schedule shifts so much. Like, I could have it scheduled from 8 to 9, and then all of a sudden I have a pop-up meeting. So now I'm like, ooh, where do I put it? But let's say you have a whole week that's squirrely like that. The next week, as you talk through food guilt, you know what you need to do for scheduling, but then you're on to the next topic. So you're still learning as you go. You can't fail it. You really can't. And you can't not finish it, because you're still learning. Even if you're not able to put that habit into place immediately, you're still learning. And so for me, I think you almost can't afford not to do it, because you're gonna walk away with so much more than you even realize.
Yeah. And that's super important to note, because I think a lot of times, like when we do like a new program like this, we think there's an end date. Yeah, like, yes, we'll be done like coaching together in the group or whatnot, but you're just getting started. That's why we have like the workbook. It allows you to take action and start writing things down and doing it. But it's an ever evolving lifestyle shift. We talk about the 21-90 rule. Like, yeah, it takes 21 days to start forming a habit, but it takes 90 days to form a lifestyle. And you're in that spectrum right now, because it's been over 90 days now since we've been working with each other. And like you said, now it just feels easy. It feels natural. I don't have the guilt. I just am living my life, and it doesn't feel hard. And that's the point we want to get across, is that there is no end date. There is no failing or not finishing this program. You're going to learn a bunch of different things in regards to mindset, nutrition, and, the importance of moving your body. But it's all going to be put together with that habit hacking strategies that we have. And you just got to do it, but be okay with it taking maybe in your time versus someone else's. At the end of 6 weeks, you're not going to be like, I feel amazing, I'm good to go. Like, thanks. We're ever evolving and transforming. And, that's why my whole brand is called Self-Transform, just because, I'll help coach you through that transformation, but it's all you. It's all you taking the action and figuring out how this works in your life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other part of it is that, it kind of goes back to, like you were saying, there's no good food and there's no bad food. Like, this isn't a pass fail course. Like, if something's not working out, you are so available to say, hey, I'm having a struggle with this. Is there a different angle or perspective that I can look at? And the community was great. So it's not a pass fail. Like, if you're having a rough time with something, just reaching out to you in the openness of a course. Like I said, it's not a pass fail course. You just, you do what you can do, and you learn as you go and tweak it for you to make it very personal.
Yeah, definitely giving you quite a few tools in your tool belt to help you with just on your health journey, which I always say there is no finish line with that. You're always going to be evolving and taking care of yourself. But hopefully it evolves into a place where it's a form of self-love and no guilt, and just living your life and it not feeling hard.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I don't tell everybody, but I'm 50 years old, so I have literally tried everything. But honestly, your wellness and your health journey is supposed to take you until, that day where the big guy calls you up. I mean, it's every single day, and it's it's an evolution based on your need, where you are in your life, and I think it's definitely you should never worry about failing. I think you should not worry, but you should just take it for what it is, and evolve with it, and make it part of your lifestyle and what you want. Because at the end of the day, your goal is wellness and taking care of yourself and being present in your life and being available for others. And that's what's most important.
Yeah. We want to get to that place of overflow where we have like this big pitcher and we have filled our cup so much we don't have enough room in a cup. We have to have a big pitcher, and everyone else around us gets that overflow, versus like having a teeny tiny cup and a little drop left in it to be able to pour into others, for sure. So I love that so much. Is there anything else you'd want to add, or anything else, Felice, before we wrap up?
I can't think of anything except that I am so glad that I took a chance on myself, because, like I said, I've been listening to you, so I know, you're an amazing coach and everything. And I think it's more about, taking a chance on yourself and investing in yourself. And like I said, that's something that we should always do. And for me, I know that I could tell a difference, but the fact that when I saw my mom, and I hadn't seen her in over a year, and she was like, "Wow, you're glowing," and and I don't think my weight hasn't shifted that much, so it's not like I went from this weight to that weight. It was more about how I carried myself, my self-confidence, and just feeling good. And I know my kids see me doing this every day, and they're all girls, so I mean, not that it's any more important than boys, but there's a self-image thing out there for teenage girls. And the fact that I'm no longer cringing if I have something bad, or now they see me doing my salads and not like, oh, mommy's on another diet. It's just part of our lifestyle. So for me, that's been a really neat added benefit.
I love that so much good stuff there. Well, and that's the whole purpose. We want you to find that inner light and just feel lit up from the inside out, and other people will see that. They'll see it. They'll see it. So, well, Felice, thank you so much for sharing your heart with the audience today and your experience with STU Live. And I'm so proud of you. Like, seriously, like the shifts you made and everything, it's so cool. I'm so excited for you, and I'm so proud of you, and I know you're going to keep it up.
Thank you.
Oh, Felice, I am sending you the biggest hug ever, girl. I'm so proud of you. I mean this with all of my heart. I'm so proud of you. I could just freaking cry. This is the transformation I want for every woman that goes through STU Live, where it just doesn't feel hard anymore and you are just feeling lit up from the inside out. So, Felice, thank you so much for sharing your heart and being so open with the audience. I know a lot of women are going to relate to what we talked about today. So, gang, if you are tired of stopping and starting, let's get off that crazy cycle. Okay, let's get out of that crazy cycle. Come join me in Self Transform You Live. We begin Tuesday the 7th. You can go to selftransformyou.com/live. Head there right now before any of those self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs like we talked about earlier in this week start creeping in your head. Go sign up now, because I know in my heart of hearts, this is what you need right now in your life. My DMs are always open. Send me a message at Emily Nichols 22 if you have any questions, or come over to the free Facebook community to learn more. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in STU Live. Hey girl, real quick, before you go, if you love today's show and know your girlfriends need to hear this message too, then grab a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at EmilyNichols22, because the more mamas out there hearing this message, the more empowered we'll all feel to take care of ourselves so we can pour from a full cup. Or the number one way you can thank me for this podcast is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way, more mamas will find the show here too. Love you and appreciate you, girlfriends. See you next time.